one of my players, they asked me, they were like, did you want to coach? I went, not really. Like, I was like, I wasn't like in the mindset where I was going to be a college coach this year. Like, I always loved coaching. I coached little kids and like I did pitching lessons, but I never was like, I'm going to coach at SF State the year after I graduate.
Welcome back to the Chomp Pod. My name is Jabon Baidoon, and I'm the copy editor for the Golden Gate Express. Today, I'm joined by former athlete and current softball assistant head coach Nia Trinidad. Today, we'll be going over several topics, including her background and history of softball, her collegiate career, her getting the call for the assistant coach position here at SF States, and then, so she's doing off the field. So let's get started. So I believe the first thing I had for you was like also kind of like your background, because I know you're from Auckland, California, and all that. Kind of like going off this, I'll give you free space like to answer like your background and also your history in sports softball.
I mean, I've been playing softball since I was 9 years old, and it's definitely something that I've grown to love. I actually started playing softball because I was jealous that my brother was playing baseball and getting more attention than me. So I dropped the ballet shoes and went to softball and then never stopped. Growing up in Rockland, I went to Whitney High and we had a great 4 years over there. Was able to win a section title my junior year. And then unfortunately I graduated in 2020, so I didn't get to play my senior year, but I had a great time and then ended up playing 4 years of college softball, 2 over in Hawaii and 2 over here. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. So yeah.
Which, if you could recollect the moment, like, because you're a pitcher, right?
Yeah.
So like picking up the glove, I guess you could say.
I sort of always was a competitive kid. I had a younger brother, so I would always compete with him, even if it wasn't like a softball field. I would just play games with him and be sort of that person. And so when I stepped onto the field, I knew I wanted to be sort of always involved within the sport. And I was like, what better position to play than be a pitcher? And like, I sort of always wanted to be like part of this like team where I can compete and help and be the person that people rely on and be able to get the job done. And so I was always like so passionate about being a great softball player. When I was like 10, 11, I would cry every time I struck out because I felt like I was letting my team down or something like that. And it sort of has always just been like a big part of like my passion for the sport and being a naturally competitive person. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna stop being that person.
Going off of the collegiate career, especially since I had this sort of order, let's go with going from high school and then going into your 2 years at Hawaii Hilo, I think it's pronounced.
Hmm. Yeah, Hilo was definitely a like shape-shifting moment for me. I thought that I was gonna be a computer science major, study 4 years at Hawaii, and finish my time there, and found out that wasn't for me. STEM wasn't for me. I completely changed paths, went into communications over here, but I went through a lot of like negatives, but I really take in the positive relationships that I have grown from University of Hilo. There are friends that I've made through at that team. Like I had one friend that played at Dominguez Hills and we transferred around the same time and we're still in great contact. Like I texted her the other day asking her about pitching because she throws like one of the freshmen throw over here. So I am really grateful for my time over there. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful school. Just wasn't my particular fit, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I'm definitely grateful for the experience that I had over there.
Then how did Coach Alicia recruit you to come to SF States?
Alicia knew me in high school. We had conversations in high school, just didn't end up working out when it came down to what she needed at that specific time. But then I did one semester where I just did school at a junior college and I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to play again. Like, I think I want to go back. And I reached out to a bunch of coaches that were nearby. And I mean, I am, I grew up sort of living over here in Daly City too, because my grandparents live here. And I was like, why not reach out to SSAT again, see, they need me this time around. And they ended up meeting me, got that call, went on a visit late July of 2023 and was able to sign there. And I was very, very happy when I got that call to be able to play again. So that was exciting.
How it felt to come back to the home state of California to play softball and then to play here as a Gator.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just like I was so grateful to come back and play in California. With my family being over in Rockland, they're a quick 2 hour drive away from all of my games. So they were able to show up to all the close by games, all the home games, going to Sonoma, going to East Bay. They were always there. And it's always nice to see a familiar face in the stands, especially when 2 years ago I was playing on an island where you'd have to take a 6 hour flight for them to be able to see me. That was with COVID restrictions and all of that. So it was even harder for them to see me. So being able to be close by just in case I did need them was a great thing that I got to have playing here as a Gator. And I love wearing purple and playing for this team. So
Going into, coming back at post collegiate athletic career as assistant coach with Kai, like take me like maybe lines of like what's the maybe the call up I guess can say by Coach Alicia to recruit you guys at you girls sorry as assistant coaches.
yeah, I mean, me and Kai, we've always sort of known each other even before we played at SF State. Our first actual in-person meeting, I hit her in the arm during an SF State camp. So I was like, sorry. And she wasn't very excited for me to join the team at first, but she warmed up to me pretty quickly. But this past summer in July, she called me and was like, "What are you doing? I know you're still in town. Was wondering if you wanted to come coach our team because I knew our assistant coach, Coach Kinsey. Love her. She's good, doing great in Memla. She's the head coach now, but she left, and so that was a spot that was open for somebody. And then getting that call, I was like, sure, like I'm not doing anything, I guess. Might as well find something to fill my time. And it's always great to be around the game again and around the field. And I obviously instantly texted Kai. I was like, so are you gonna take it? Because if you take it, I'll take it. She's like, yeah, I'll take it. And so we both had that conversation and we were excited and
It's like if you go I go.
exactly. I was like, I'm not gonna do it by myself, but if you do it, then maybe I'll think about it. So that's how we are. I mean, the girls know that. I mean, we have teammates that we played with still on the team, and so we knew that it was gonna be like a weird, not weird, but almost like we have this dynamic where we're their coaches, and also we played with them last year, and we're still friends, and we joke around, and I think that's great for our team culture. And me and Kai are sort of very like-minded, and Alicia, we all sort of like-minded when it comes to our competitiveness and like being great on the field and being great like watching film, doing like all the little things. So we're very similar in that mindset, but also we bring different things to the table, which is hopefully good for this team. We'll find out soon.
I guess you say the teamwork with Kai, both of you girls as assistant coaches, if you don't mind diving a bit more into that.
Yeah, I mean, me and Kai, we're like two, we're like a two well-oiled machine, basically. Like she she was an infielder, and then I was a pitcher and an outfielder, so we were able to fill those spots where if the girls have questions on certain things that happen within like our play scheme and within like how we play softball, we are good resources for them to like ask questions and be able to like feel comfortable doing that because we were doing that literally last year. And like Kai, I'm gonna gas her up a little bit. Kai is probably the best example of Gator softball that you could probably see. If you Google Gator softball, it's probably Kai's face up there on the first like three scrolls. But she's definitely someone that's easy to work with, and like we all are bringing things to the table of like, oh, like we want our outfield to be like this, and this, and we want our lefty hitters to be this, and this. And like you can look at me and Kai and be like, okay, like they've seen it be successful and we want to listen and like we want to learn from those people. And so it's very fun and we're having a lot of fun.
Well, if there's anything that's maybe that is like new to you as now assistant coach that maybe you didn't really learn or know, like seen a different lens or something completely new as an assistant coach compared to your time as an athlete?
Right. I think the biggest change that I have felt going from player to coach is I have almost taken like a step back because I feel like as a player, I always took on leadership roles where I wanted to be involved in like team culture and being the person that like underclassmen would look up to. But I don't have to do that right now. Like, I want our upperclassmen to sort of lead our team. Like, I don't want to be having to make the inspirational like m- quotes and messages that I had to do in the beginning of every single game that I did last year. I sort of take a step back and like I give it to my old teammates, my friends, and like, this is your team. Like, you could lead this team, and I'm me, Kai, and Reed. We're gonna give you all the tools and all the practice that we can to make you guys successful. But at the end of the day, you guys control the culture and the leadership, and that's something that like I like find myself like wanting to get in a huddle. I'm like, wait, I'm not. I'm gonna go sit down and go turn on the GoPro or something. I don't need to be in this huddle. Like, they got this, and that's always exciting to see.
And the culture is a big thing, especially for sports, and not just in like the comes in on the field, but also like the way you represent the schools, or like if you're professional, obviously the city you represent in a way.
Right? Yeah. I mean, our culture was. I loved our team last year. I mean, and you could see that it was successful with the season that we had last year. So having that to look at, but also move on past because it's a completely new team with a bunch of young girls. So hoping that we not only carry on a good winning culture, but they sort of find their own like self identity within that too.
Yeah, because in a way it's like a new chapter, a new page, technically a new team. Because some returners but also got a lot of new faces in there, and the winning culture can be something to kind of look back on, but it's not like like it's not something that maybe to fully like hold on to too much in a way.
Right, right. I think it's unfair to compare anyone to last year's team or the team before. I mean, it's a team of completely new girls. We have, I want to say, six returners, and so that's obviously not our last year team. And I think I'm sort of like, who cares? Like, I think we could be great within what we have now too, and we have a bunch of hungry players that want to be successful and want, at the end of the day, to win a championship. So if they're here to do that and they have that mindset, they're at the right program.
Plus, the other thing I was probably sort of says, like, in a way, like, this, they could see, like, what's possible, in a way, like, you could actually go the distance, especially starting from the ground up, in a way.
Right. I mean, yeah. All of our seniors were starters last year in the with the regional championship team, and we had a senior transfer from Sonoma who's been right there with us in playoffs, competing against us, and so it's good to have that leadership, and I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do. It's sort of just like we've been putting in a lot of work. Like, we're about to end our 20-hour weeks, and hopefully we have done as much as we can. And obviously we're to keep working on it in season. But it's sort of like exciting to see because um we had great success last year, and we have a lot of hopes for this team this year. And even though it's completely a new team, we're building something that's gonna be successful, and in my head.
Going off of, going from athlete to coach, like, maybe how Coach Elisa is helping with that sort of transition.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a weird transition. We're here so early, and I always sort of knew, like, I was always very respectful of like the things that my coaches did. Like, our coaches would wash our laundry and do that stuff, and now I'm washing our team's laundry and things like that. They're setting up the field before practice, before games, before scrimmages, and I've never been one to like take advantage of like people's kindness. So I've always been very appreciative of that. I think the biggest transition for me is like my email is constantly blowing up with girls who want to go to this school, and saying no or saying like, oh, this girl probably isn't the greatest fit for our team, or saying yes and being like, oh, we had a great recruit onto the team. We have to meet their family. We have to make sure that this is where they want to be for 4 years is definitely the biggest transition. I think the first weekend me and Kai got to listen to a recruit call with her. And obviously we've been on the other side of the recruit call with Alicia where we're like, yes, please, like I want to go to this school, like I would love to visit and whatever. But there's so much like behind the scenes that goes on with trying to build this team and continue its legacy and definitely trying to all work together as three heads, try to build a great team is something that she's definitely helped me and Kai with. And like, I haven't gone yet, but Kai has gone to recruiting like tournaments and stuff. And obviously, we're here for like the prospect camps that we host on campus. And we're all going on a coach's trip to Southern California soon to try to recruit some players. So that's definitely going to be something that we're gonna sort of go head first in, and she's very, very involved. She eats, sleeps, breathes Gator softball, so that's all you can ask for to catch.
Very true, very true. Going off of the SFSU softball, your favorite moments as a Gator?
Okay, this one is sort of random because I feel like the normal answer would be going to playoffs and like going to the hosting that the regionals, yeah. But I mean, I got hurt like that season in March, like end of March, got my MRI, told me I tore my patellar tendon on April Fool's Day. So I was like, this is not a fun joke. But my favorite moment actually was a midweek game where we played Hawaii Pacific. And I got to pitch one of that game. I don't get to start many games. I was a relief pitcher, took that role with as much as I could, and I was like, if you need me, I'll throw. Like whatever you need, I'm here. And I had to throw the HBU game, and it was 0-0 until like the sixth inning, and they scored off of an error and a base hit, and I was like, darn it. And then at the end, I'm always one to like fire at my team. So I was like, let's go. Like, let's win this game. Like, I'm not gonna throw a one hit game and lose, guys. Like we gotta get this done. And one of my good friends, Riley McDaniel, obviously she had a great season last year. It's a walk off home run to seal the deal for it. I was like, thank you so much. I was like, you could see me in the home run like huddle, just like smacking her helmet so hard because I was so excited. But what made that game so special to me was like I knew the HPU coach personally, obviously, because when I played at Hilo, we were in like that sort of weird COVID pod championship. So we played HPU and Shama 12 times each. So we got very familiar with them. And she came up to me after the games and was like, how are you? Like, I hope you're doing well. Like, you look so much better. And like, you look happy and you look like you're having a great time here. And she's like, you're looking great on the mound, but on the outside, you're also just, you look better. And that was like a very like full circle moment for me because I sort of left Hilo with a lot of like loose ends and like having someone from that time in my life be like, I'm glad like you're doing great and like you look great. That was probably a defining moment of my senior year, even though I got hurt like probably 2 days after. But definitely it was something that I keep with me at the end of my career.
You and each of your teammates, even last season, were like, cheering on each other, even from on the sidelines and everything. But now, as assistant coach, you kind of like, do you maybe try to be more calm or collected, when you're out there?
I wish I
That's trying to be like be active, I guess, is the word.
I wish I could say yes, but me and Kai are so like animated and like anytime someone does anything good, like we're like off the bucket, like like hitting our clipboards, and we're so excited. Like I'm never not gonna celebrate somebody's success, even like when I'm their coach, because I think a lot of things that fired us up last year was when we would see Alicia get fired up. Like if someone would hit a 240-foot home run, and she would be like fired up at the third base coach box, like that like instills something in you as a player because like you know that your coaches care just as much. And I think with such a young team that we have right now, like me and Kai being like super gusto and being like who we were as players, but now as coaches is sort of like I hope I hope like instilling confidence in them that they could be successful at this level because I think if you have coaches that like never cheer on your successes and are only like negative towards you, that's not going to build like a great athlete. Like I am all about like if my pitcher throws a great pitch, like cheering that on, or if my outfielder makes a great catch, I'm going to get up and like bang on the wall or something. Like it's just exciting to celebrate that, and I don't think I'll stop unless I lose my voice or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, because I was been curious about that. Not to say you have to be cold when you're a coach. I'm just like wondering how you're kind of maybe as at least not as much or as often. You know what I mean?
Right. Like definitely cuz like if something exciting happens, I'm going to cheer, but obviously like then I'm going to go sit down and like write something down from in my notes just to see like what happened. But I think yeah, there's not much that V and Kai changed except we're in the dugout cheering instead of on the field. So, yeah. Definitely not like leading cheers in the dugout anymore. But if they have a question about it, they'll probably ask me. But the slight step back, but definitely not losing that fire. I mean, we got to play slow pitch with that team during Fleet Week. So me and Kai were on the same team. And so they got to feel it. Like I feel me and Kai's energy right next to them instead of in the dugout, which is also fun. So definitely I don't know if we're like physically able to completely hold it back or settle it down.
Very, very full. But now this team, especially with this with 20 players being seniors, such as like Ashley, Marissa. Am I forgetting a few? I know a couple of them.
Shaughnessy, and
Yes,
then we have
honestly,
the senior transfer from Sonoma, Taylor Rapp.
I saw that. Yeah, from Sonoma State. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
like them. Because my coach is like, at least for 21s to 20 Gators, them stepping up to be more leadership role as seniors for like team, like especially for new players, the transfers, the freshmen, and all that. How you feeling about the group this year?
Yeah. I mean, last year, Shaughnessy already took sort of that leadership role, like alongside like our seniors, and she was always a voice that is respected. You see a person who works hard on the field, in the classroom, in the weight room, and you're like, yeah, like I'm gonna listen to what this person says. And so she was that person as a sophomore, as a junior, and obviously now as a senior. And like Marissa and Roach, they were two starters that got to experience like the full season as a Gator. And Marissa's been here for 4 years, and she's also known like what like we need to do to be successful. They all bring in like different pieces of leadership, and like I'm very proud of like the different ways that they like step in and sort of lead this team. Even Taylor, like she played so much for Sonoma. She was one of their starting catchers, and she definitely brings in outside looking in view of like who we were as a team last year and who how you want your teammates to be at the college level. I mean, we have, I want to say 11 freshmen. And so it's sometimes it feels like you're herding cats with those 11, but we have good leadership up at the top where it's like they're setting a standard where we want to be here and we need to be able to put the work in to be able to be here because it's not going to come easily to us. Like at the end of the day, like college, everyone was good. Like if you were playing in college, you were probably good in travel ball. And now you have to work again. You're going to start from basically zero again. And setting in that mindset of being competitive now within like our seniors and with them being like, we got to step it up today, or let's like talk more, let's have this energy, like let's lift more weight in the weight room, let's put another 10 pounds on, um, is something that's very instrumental in building like a competitive team culture for us. And I think we're at that point where everyone's sort of pushing each other to be better. And now we're trying to tweak small little things where at the beginning of August or at the end of August, the beginning of season, we were like, oh wow, like we're a young team, obviously. And it's just like we're gonna have room for error and room to work. And now we're seeing all the work that they're putting in within the younger kids and within the upperclassmen to become like a well meshed, well oiled machine team to hopefully be successful in the spring. I think our seniors are doing a great job in being like good role models for our team and even our other upperclassmen. Like we have two juniors who both transferred in from the University of Pacific and Academy of Art, and obviously they've seen different things within their other teams and they're going to bring new perspectives. And I think that's super important with our young team. And even our sophomores, Kate Nelson and Memes, they both got opportunities to play last year. And so they bring in that Gator softball perspective. Memes was a instrumental part of our relief pitching last year. And so having her as our now upperclassman pitcher with three freshman pitchers is a good thing to have because she works hard and I know that she wants to win. And so having that like mindset for our entire team is very important. And I think we have that. But yeah.
Because I know you guys just, like I said, concluded your uh, fall games, your fall preseason games, I guess you can say, but especially the most recent one, beginning of the month. What do you say you're seeing from the group so far, and how do you feel about them heading into the spring?
I think our team is competing like at the level that we want to compete at. We're hitting the ball very hard, and that's always great to see. You always want to see good offense early, especially from the young kids who are getting their first college hacks. Like seeing these young 18-year-olds go up to the plate and take like confident hacks means like we're doing our job over here and they're being successful. We finished out our fall with I want to say 20-ish runs and only giving up 3. And so that's great no matter who we're playing. I mean, it's hard to hold any college team whatever level to only 3 runs in 14 innings. So, I'm very excited to see success on both sides of the field and I'm excited to see what we do within conference. I mean, everyone's sort of in the same boat. A lot of people, a lot of great teams lost upperclassmen that helped shape their team, and now a lot of teams have these new faces, and we're going to see how it all plays out within the spring because the CCAA, if there's one thing about it, it's competitive, and we're going to have like brutal 28 inning weekends every single time we play. So hopefully, and I think I have the best like outlook when it comes to this team and hoping for their success because they've shown a lot of great things early within the season and obviously there's things that small things that we need to work on and that's fine. I don't ever expect a player to be perfect. I think that would be unfair for any player. And as long as we're making our forward progress and we're making our adjustments, I think we're going to be just fine.
Those in a way, the preseason games could sort of like you said, a glimpse of. I know, like the reason I say, like you said, is like the little things to work on. It gives you like a preview, like okay, ahead of the season, mate, you're doing great here, but maybe a little bit of work on this,
Right.
as so you get no. At least now you see the live action, I guess, can say preview blueprint of what's to come the next season.
Right. Like we scrimmage each other like every Friday, but it's always important for us to see how we look against another team who doesn't know our plays and who doesn't know how we run our defense because then we're like they realize that we drill all these drills over and over again and then when it happens in the game they're like, "Oh wow, that makes sense. Like why we practice that all the time." And now like seeing the small mistakes and like watching film and seeing those mistakes might seem embarrassing for some of the players, but we, at the end of the day, just want to be a successful team that understands that what we're trying to lead to. If we talk about rowing the boat in the same direction, and that can only happen if we continue to like adjust the small things and continue to move in a way that is successful for the whole team.
Because you were a communications major, I believe. You're a communications graduate. And I saw you did some business for professional sports. I'm just curious, like, if you don't mind talking about what you're doing postgraduate off the field.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a communications major, so I've just been trying to figure out what I want to do with it, to be completely honest. I've had a just normal customer service job with the 49ers, which is a cool experience. We had to work the Super Bowl this year and make those connections. But right now, I'm sort of just trying to utilize my network and figure out like where I want to go and what I want to do. I've always had sort of this inkling to want to work in sports, being an athlete, and also my uncle was a radio engineer for Oakland, so he worked for the A's and the Warriors and the Raiders, who are all not in Oakland anymore. But that sort of grew up with that in my life, and now I got to work with a bunch of collegiate baseball teams for the past 2 summers, and meeting those players, meeting those coaches has always been very, not always been, has been very instrumental in like what I want to do because I've had a lot of passion for doing like things that I'm passionate about, but also trying to make a living because at the end of the day, I want to be within like digital marketing. So I want to do photo, video, and photography, but also I want to be able to not hate my job at the end of the day. So I'm trying to just get my foot in the door right now, and I'm working what seems like 5 million jobs to try and be successful, applying for 5 million more. But definitely this takes a lot of time out of my day, and being able to still work with like athletes is definitely important, and I think what I want to do as a human being. So, yeah.
And then this is thankfully you mentioned the photo videos because that brought up one thing that I forgot to list was like I noticed the Instagram for softball is definitely more reels. I've seen in past years. Like I had to double check. Like this is much more than within the time frame. Like just to say, so if you don't mind taking me behind the scenes of that, like at least talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of knew I was like, I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity as much as I can. And Alicia was like, yeah, if you want to do media for our team, like you're more than welcome to. And I'm like, sure. And so I put out videos for our weight room, and I helped one of our seniors, Shaughnessy, with her NIL stuff and her like videos. And so that's always a good portfolio thing for me, and just taking photos every once in a while during practice just to make sure I still can do it is always important. But I think I'm sort of just throwing myself into the fire because I've always done it since 2019. I've always been in sports, like working photo, video, and graphic design because my high school, shout out Whitney High School, we have such a great graphic design program. And I was able to like document my entire senior year through like social media before it was sort of like a big thing to do that. And so now I'm like so into that I sort of can't ever escape it. And me and Kai were like, we're gonna have the best Instagram page ever. If there's one thing we do, we're gonna have the best social media. So that's what we're trying to do. I mean, one of our reels has gone viral with like 200,000 views. And so I was like, this is so random. Like, what? Why are people watching this video in particular?
At least it makes the softball account more active. You definitely got the engagement, and like you said, the beer account was out there, and then with your sports is also make sure you're kind of into it, the stuff you do like outside of the field, like you can say, making sure you're still in tune with that and keeping in practice.
Right. What was it? One of my players, they asked me, they were like, did you want to coach? I went, not really. Like, I was like, I wasn't like in the mindset where I was going to be a college coach this year. Like, I always loved coaching. I coached little kids and like I did pitching lessons, but I never was like, I'm going to coach at SF State the year after I graduate. Like, I thought I was going to go and explore digital marketing and explore that part of my life. But then I got this opportunity and was able to combine like playing softball, my experience in softball, and having fun, like marketing this like very charismatic team at the end of the day. They're all a bunch of personalities. And so having the opportunity to sort of combine a lot of the aspects of my identity and my life has been really cool to experience like these past few months.
Any final words? Any final thoughts?
No, I hope everyone comes out to a softball game this year. We play starting in February, I think, but we're gonna have fun. We have a lot of fun all the time. We play every Friday and Saturday for the most part. So I hope to see more Gators out at the softball field. Definitely come and support your female athletes and just your athletes on campus because we got a good squad of them. Even our volleyball team and our soccer team, and we're all trying to be something within D2 sports, and being able to support female athletes is always a great thing to be a part of.
Thank you so much for joining me, Nia.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This has been the Chomp with Jabon Raidoon. Thank you for watching.